All right, so you're thinking about applying to business school. That's awesome. But now you're facing this, like, big decision, GMAT Focus Edition versus the GRE, and it can feel like a total jungle out there. We've got articles, research notes, and we are here to help sort it all out.
Yeah, not just sorting it out, but really understanding what these differences actually mean for you as you're putting those applications together.
Exactly. So you're probably sitting there thinking, which exam is my, like, golden ticket
Well,
to get me into my dream MBA program? Well, the good news is both the GMAT Focus Edition and the GRE. They're both widely accepted by MBA programs, but here's where it gets kind of interesting. That GMAT Focus Edition, it's the new kid on the block. It was designed specifically to test the skills that you need for business school and for your career or beyond.
yeah, it sends a really strong signal to the admissions committee that you are serious about business, you've got the analytical skills to handle the coursework, and that you're ready to just hit the ground running.
Like you speak their language and you're ready to go. Now, the GRE, on the other hand, that's a bit more of a seasoned traveler, accepted by a wider range of grad programs. So if you're keeping your options open, maybe thinking about a dual degree, or even just like a different path altogether, the GRE might be the more versatile choice for you.
That's a really good point. You know, it's interesting. After the pandemic, the GRE really gained a lot of traction. And I wonder, does that suggest maybe a shift in priorities with more people considering just different types of career paths and wanting to keep things open-ended?
Yeah, that's really interesting. Something to think about. Okay, so let's break down the structure of these exams. At first glance, they seem to test kind of similar skills, analytical thinking, verbal reasoning, all that good stuff. But the devil is in the details, as they say. So the GMAT Focus Edition, they've streamlined the format. They got rid of the old analytical writing assessment section, and now they've introduced this data insight section. And this section, it's all about analyzing data from multiple sources, which is honestly a crucial skill in today's business world.
Oh, absolutely. Think about it. You're going to be facing these complex business problems, deciphering market trends, making strategic decisions, all based on mountains of data. And this data insights section, it simulates that. It's asking you to look at charts, graphs, tables, even text-based reports to pull out the key insights.
So if you're someone who's already working with data and you're comfortable drawing conclusions from it, this could be your chance to really stand out. Now, the GRE, on the other hand, it's sticking with the classic analytical writing section. So it's testing your ability to articulate those arguments, express your ideas in a clear and persuasive way. And while both exams test verbal reasoning, the GRE kind of goes a little deeper into vocabulary.
Yeah, if you love words, if you like to just really dig into the nuances of language, that GRE verbal section might feel a little bit more comfortable. But this brings up a really crucial point. Difficulty is relative. What feels challenging to one person might be a total breeze for another.
Right. It's not about which exam is quote-unquote harder, but really about which one aligns better with your strengths. Maybe you fly through the GMAT Focus Edition quant section, but you get totally tripped up by the GRE vocabulary.
Exactly. And to complicate things even further, a top 2% score on the GMAT Focus Edition doesn't necessarily translate to a top 2% on the GRE. Because think about it, the applicant pool for each exam is a little bit different. And that's going to impact the overall score distribution.
Right, because remember, the GRE caters to a wider range of programs, so those score percentiles are going to reflect a much more diverse group of test takers. Okay, so we've covered acceptance, the exam structures, and the ever so subjective idea of difficulty. Now let's talk about scoring and reporting, both exams. Your scores are valid for 5 years, so you've got plenty of time to plan your next move. But there are some key differences. The GRE, they've got this thing called Score Select. It lets you choose which scores you send to the schools.
So it's kind of like having a curated portfolio of your best testing moments. You can highlight your strengths and present a more polished application.
And super scoring.
Yeah.
That's where schools will combine your best section scores. From multiple attempts, that's officially a GRE thing, but with the GMAT Focus Edition, you can retake the exam. And you can submit your best overall score.
So you've got options with both. You can put your best foot forward. So all this swirling around, I'm sure you're wondering, which exam is better for MBA admissions?
Right, like what's the magic formula?
Well, most schools say they have no preference.
There are definitely nuances to think about. Programs that are known for being really quantitatively rigorous, like finance, for example, they might still kind of lean toward that GMAT Focus Edition, you know? It's all about understanding those unspoken preferences and aligning your choice with the program's emphasis.
And speaking of program preferences, we were doing some research and we found out that Harvard Business School,
Yeah.
they've historically shown a slight preference for the GMAT over the GRE. Just something to keep in mind as you're weighing your options. Absolutely. It's all about positioning. You're not just picking an exam, you're crafting your narrative, showing them why you belong in their program.
Okay. So we've covered a lot of ground, but before we wrap up this part of our deep dive,
I think we should leave our listeners with something to think about.
Yeah.
We talk about program reputation and preferences. What about your personal brand as an applicant?
Yeah. Which exam helps you tell the best story about your strengths? Does the GMAT Focus Edition and all that data highlight your analytical skills? Or does the GRE and its vocabulary emphasis showcase those communication skills? It's really about finding the best fit for you.
Yeah, it's a question you should really spend some time thinking about.
For sure.
Now, let's switch gears a little bit and talk about the actual preparation. Because let's be honest, acing these exams, it takes a lot of work and a really strategic approach.
Yeah. No magic shortcuts here.
Nope.
But understanding how prep differs for each exam can make things a lot smoother.
Definitely. So for that GMAT Focus Edition, it's really all about homing those problem-solving skills and mastering data interpretation. The exam is streamlined, so time management is key.
Yeah, it's you got to make every second count.
Right. Strategize your approach to each section.
Develop that laser focus to tackle those tough questions.
Exactly. Now for the GRE, get those vocabulary flashcards out. And you're going to want to work on those essay writing skills because that analytical writing section can really make a difference in your score.
Yeah, it's about showing them that you can think critically, analyze the information, and communicate your ideas really effectively.
So it's like a window into your brain. For the admissions committee.
Totally.
So prep strategies might differ, but there's one thing that's true for both.
Practice, practice, practice.
Yes.
You got to familiarize yourself with that format, get comfortable with the pacing.
And the more you practice, the more confident you'll feel on test day.
Yeah.
But it's not just about memorization. It's about understanding those concepts, developing those critical thinking skills, honing those test-taking strategies.
It's all about strategy. And remember, you don't have to do this alone.
Oh, for sure.
There are tons of resources out there, prep courses, online materials, study groups, forums.
Yeah, connecting with other people.
Yeah.
Who are going through the same thing can be so helpful.
Absolutely. You can share strategies, talk about those difficult concepts.
Yeah, just having that support system makes it all feel a little less daunting.
You got your tribe, your MBA crew.
Exactly. So we've covered a lot today, the nuances of each exam, prep strategies, the strategic implications of choosing one test over the other.
We've given you the insights, the tools, and hopefully the confidence to navigate this whole GMAT Focus Edition versus GRE thing.
Like with any big decision, there are always going to be more things to uncover, more perspectives to think about.
So keep doing your research, dive deep into those program requirements, and think about what really matters to you on this MBA journey.
Remember, the best exam is the one that aligns with your strengths, your goals, your overall application strategy.
Find what fits you best.
That's it.
Okay, so we've talked about the exams themselves, the prep strategies. We even touched on the strategic implications of choosing one exam over the other. But there's another piece to this puzzle. The emotional side of this decision. We've talked about the exams themselves, the prep strategies. We even touched on the strategic implications of choosing one exam over the other. But there's another piece to this puzzle, the emotional side of this decision.
Oh, yeah, definitely. It's not just about checking boxes, getting the highest score possible. It's also about managing your mindset, your confidence, and those inevitable moments of self-doubt.
Because it can be stressful, right? You're juggling work and life and the pressure of these really high-stakes exams.
For sure.
So how do you stay grounded and keep those nerves in check?
It's all about balance, pushing yourself, but also being kind to yourself, Celebrate the small wins, like when you finally master a tough concept or you nail a practice test.
Yeah, and don't beat yourself up over setbacks. It happens.
It's a marathon, not a sprint. And remember, you've come so far. You've decided to pursue your MBA.
Exactly.
Which is huge. It shows your ambition and your desire to grow.
You should be proud of yourself.
And as you go through this process, remember, there are resources and support available.
Yeah, definitely. Don't be afraid to reach out to mentors. Talk to other applicants or get advice from people who've been through it before.
It helps to share your experiences, your fears, your triumphs.
Makes the whole thing feel less isolating and way more manageable.
For sure.
Remember, You're not alone in this. And at the end of the day, whether you choose the GMAT Focus Edition or the GRE, what truly matters is your commitment to growing, your resilience, and your belief in yourself.
I love that. So as we wrap up this deep dive into the GMAT Focus Edition versus GRE dilemma, hopefully you're feeling more informed, more empowered, and excited for this incredible journey ahead of you.
Go out there, crush those exams, and embrace this next chapter with confidence and enthusiasm. We're cheering you on every step of the way. To the future.